security. So when you think you will be safeguarded, or the Most High keeping you with His armor, through believing on His word, you are going to get destroyed, because carnal weapons won't save you, money won't save you, also in the times that coming.
Gone.
Like it says, read that last night.
It says, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
God. So in the day of vengeance, you're going to get utterly destroyed. That's plain and simple to the point. So another precept I'd like to get is 1 Maccabees chapter 12.
That's hard into that. You know, that's like Esau and with they big expensive bunkers and thing.
Done.
With they big expensive supposed to be secured location. In the day of vengeance, the angels here. Them those same secure places can collapse on them.
Gone.
And kill all them. Just like how inside the storm where the Levites them thought that the church walls was gonna be security to them. And what happened to them?
One's gonna crashing down.
So I killed every last one.
God.
See, if your security ain't the Most High, ain't nothing can save you.
That's it.
He is the real Brinks.
Gone. Salakia, right? If I could just say this too, only the elect is gonna be secured, man. You know, because they're gonna be the ones that, gonna be exempt from judgment.
God.
You know.
God. So another precept I'd like to get, 1 Maccabees chapter 12. But when you go look at, when you go into this account, Jonathan, one of Matthias' sons, he was the high priest, and he wrote a letter to the Lacedaemonians who were the Lacedaemonians, who were the Spartans, who were Israelites, So we started verse 5. 1 Maccabees 12 and 5.
Alright, this is the book of 1 Maccabees chapter 12 verse 5. And this is the copy of letters which Jonathan wrote to the Lacedaemonians. Salakia if I pronounce that wrong. Alright. Jonathan the high priest and the elders of the nations and the priests and the other people of the Jews unto the Lacedaemonians, their brethren, send greetings. There were letters sent in time past unto Onias the high priest from Darius, who reigned among you, to signify ye our brethren, our brethren, as the copy here on the writing do specify. At the time which Onias entreated the ambassador that was sent honorably, and received the letters wherein declaration was made of the league and friendship.
This is the point, right, John? Verse 9.
Verse 9. It says, therefore we also, albeit we need none of these things, for that we have the holy books of the scriptures in our hand to comfort us.
So Jonathan is saying we have the holy books of the scripture in our hands to comfort us. Alright? So the holy scriptures is comfort and a safeguard. It is truly for you if you believe.
God.
And when the trouble comes, it will be a shield through faith. Like Jonathan said, we have the comfort of the holy scriptures in our hand to comfort us. So in time to come, when everything is shut down, the internet, only the scriptures through meditating and reading is going to protect you if you truly believe. Okay? And that it will, Salakia, and that it will, the scripture, Salakia, and obviously we know that when you're reading these stories, these supposed to be motivation for you, you know what I mean? Because in time to come, like I indicated, we ain't gonna have this internet around, and you got to reflect back on the scriptures, because pursuant to the scripture, Romans 15 and 4, you know what I mean? You're supposed to remember of your forefathers. So you could come on, get that precept in Romans 15 and 4, please.
Romans 15 and 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
So, you know, whatever you read is going to be embedded in your spirit, you know, and when these time arises, you know, you got to reflect back, you know, on the scriptures to have comfort and to be secure and have faith in the Most High word, you know what I mean?
God.
So the security of the scripture will only stand in the time to come, you know what I mean? Nothing else.
God.
Okay? So, here one last piece of Proverbs 4:20.
Yeah. I say they can bring up Proverbs.
Alright.
Proverbs 4:20. My son, attend to my words, incline thy ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes, keep them in the midst of thine heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh.
Done.
God. So these, you know, these words, these Most High words, you gotta incline your ears to this. Listen to these sayings and read it and dwell on them, meditate on them. Like Joshua 1:8, meditate on this, briefly paraphrasing, meditate on these words day and night. You know what I mean?
Done.
Let them not depart from your eyes and keep them in your heart. You know, constantly every day. You know, because, you know, as these times approaching, as we see the prophecies unfolding, you gotta continue reading, because we ain't gonna have this at one point. You know what I mean? So when you go look at that word, security means the state of being free from danger or threat. It's all revolves around the scripture, and you have to constantly take that in mind every day. You know what I mean? Because that time is coming, like I indicated. You know.
Done.
I want to read through this.
That's all it.
Alright. Alright, you got it.
Alright. You can just do or read through, you know. You ain't never tried this one before, but we can do a read through us into Proverbs chapter 4. Right? This can line up with all what we talk about today. You know, it come like as a collective. Because you know the book of Proverbs, somebody made mention that it has many inspirational nuggets inside it. You see?
Done.
But this Proverbs 4, starting at the top. Hear ye children, the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments and live. You see, that's what we brought out earlier.
Done.
You see? Verse 5. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. That's like when the ark brought out earlier. You know, when you have this truth, it'll cause our countenance to shine brighter.
Done.
You see, that's the crown of glory. Verse 10. Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many, because this truth is living water, so it prolongeth your life.
Done.
You see? Verse 11. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom, I have led thee in right paths. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. Like the Akim brought earlier, that's our security.
Done.
You see? Verse 13. Take fast hold of instruction, let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it. Turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. You have people out there who ain't satisfied unless they cause strife and destruction.
Done.
Just like how them pastors ain't satisfied unless they spread lies.
Done.
You see? Verse 17. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence, like Dog brought out earlier. That bitterness, that gall. You see, they spew words of bitter water. You see, they water ain't sweet, they words ain't sweet. You see, verse 18. But the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. We brought that out earlier as well. You know. Verse 19. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. The wicked is blind. When you think about darkness, when you can't see, you stumble over anything that get put inside the front of you. The wicked believe any lie will get told to them.
That's it.
You see? My son, attend to my words. Incline thine ear unto my sayings. Kwam YASHARAHLA, Shemai YASHARAHLA. You see? Verse 21. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Your thoughts. What you think is what you speak. What you think is what you live. You see, and your heart is your mind, your spirit. Verse 24. Put away from thee a froward mouth and perverse lips. Put far from thee. Let thine eyes look right on. Salak, let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. You see? And just Proverbs chapter 4 gives a breakdown that's pretty much encompassing everything that what we spoke about today. So you know the scriptures ain't lying. You see, because we was in the book of Galatians, we was in Deuteronomy, we was in Leviticus, we was everywhere inside this book. And all of that still comes back into that same nugget in the Proverbs. That's how come this word is like gold, more precious than gold. You see?
More to be desired than gold.
More desired than gold. Can.
You straight?
Yeah, that's how we do.
Alright, I got one more I want to touch on, and then, Lord willing, you know, to get out of here, because I want to put the rest, you know, this trees thing, you know, which people don't understand that trees in the scriptures are actually people. Especially when you're dealing with, Alright, especially when you're dealing with the book of Genesis, you know. And this also goes to show you that Esau, Edom, he's a wicked damn man too. You know, because they say Eve pick an apple. Now check this, when you damn do a word search on the word apple, the word apple never come until the book of Deuteronomy. So that let you know that that's a bunch of shit. And the word apple only appears 8 times. Alright, and the word apples, alright, I think it's 4 times. Alright, so 11 times total in the scriptures. But they never come until the book of Deuteronomy. Alright, so it's just gonna give you a backdrop and show you that people, that trees is a representation of people. Alright, so let's turn to the book of Genesis. Alright, chapter 2, and we're gonna start at verse 15. Read down from 15 to 17.
It's meat in the milk, man.
God.
It's Genesis chapter 2, starting at verse 15. And Yahweh power took the man and put him to the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Most High power commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
Right. Now, this basically where they got that whole theory from with the apple and all of that. But that's a bunch of shit. But the trees here, what they was going to eat of, that's just a representation of people. Which Eve learned the knowledge of wickedness from a group of people. That's what this is speaking about, if you could receive it. All right, but in this lesson, I'm just going to show you that these are indeed people. All right, So the next precept we're gonna hit is the book of Ezekiel chapter 31.
God, that's the spirit. God.
All right. Because our people, man,
They don't understand this.
That's
Destroy
what I'm telling you.
archaeology.
You know, 31. Let's start here at
Keep Genesis.
46. Well, you can drop
Ezekiel 31 and 6. All the fowls of heaven made their nests in his boughs, and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwelt all great nations.
Right? So this is speaking about Adam.
God,
You see what I said? All right, read.
because it says a parable, because Genesis is written a lot of metaphors and parables. Genesis and Revelation, two hardest scriptures books in the Bible you can't perceive.
The beginning and the end.
Done. All right. So watch this.
Thus was he fair in his greatness, in the length of his branches, for his root was by great waters.
Right. See, and now he's being compared to a tree.
God.
You see that? This is Adam. All right. Watch it.
The cedars in the garden of the Most High could not hide him.
Right. You see that the cedars in the garden of the Most High could not hide him. Hide who? Adam.
God.
So this same passage right here, this is speaking about who? Adam.
God.
And again, Adam is being compared to as what? Trees.
God.
All right. Let's read it again from the top. What you say?
The cedars in the garden
You
of
could
the
speak up a little bit.
The cedars in the garden of the Most High could not hide him. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of the Most High was like unto him in his beauty.
Right. Speaking about Adam, the fig tree and the chestnut tree. All right. These are a representation of the different nations. Basically jealous of Adam.
God.
You see that? But then they were being referred to as trees.
God.
You saw falling in your own soul and they call it family tree, eh?
You can't. You understand? All right. But what this is going to basically break it down right now in verse 9.
I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of the Most High envied him.
You see that? So trees don't envy one another.
God.
So just let you know, this is, first of all, this is speaking about Adam.
God.
All right. And the trees that this is speaking about is a representation of people.
God.
So where they get that apple from, that's a bunch of shit. That's just Greek mythology, straight up. You understand? But we can dig into it a little deeper. So from there, let's go to the book of Judges, chapter 8. All right, and verse 22. All right. All right, and this is going to basically go into the time of Gideon. You know, when Gideon deliver Israel, when the Most High used Gideon to deliver Israel, and they wanted Gideon and his sons son to rule over them. All right. But check this.
It's Judges 8 and 22. Then the men of Israel said unto Gideon, Rule thou over us, both thou and thy son, and thy son's son also, for thou hast delivered us from the hand of Midian.
Right, and Midian is basically the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, not the what we have. What these people over here call themselves today, the Midianites. No, these are speaking about the Ishmaelites, so-called Arab. All right, let's read on.
And Gideon said unto them, I will not rule over you, neither shall my son rule over you. Yahweh shall rule over you.
Read.
And Gideon said unto them, I would desire a request of you, that ye would give me every man the earrings of his prey, for they have had golden earrings, because they were Ishmaelites.
Right, see that, and this let you know that the Medians, or the Medians, right, the Medians, they were actually Ishmaelites. All right, but now let's jump now, because it's gonna compare Gideon and Gideon's sons, and Gideon's son's son, the trees now. All right, so for that, let's jump to chapter 9, and we're gonna pick it up at verse 7. All right.
Judges 9 and 7. And when they told it to Jotham, he went and stood in the top of Mount Gerizim, and lifted up his voice, and cried, and said unto them, Hearken unto me, ye men of Shechem, that Yahweh may hearken unto you.
Read.
The trees went forth on a time to anoint a king over them. And they said unto the olive tree, Reign thou over us.
Right, and this is speaking about who? We just read Gideon back in chapter 22. That the man of Israel said unto Gideon, Rule thou over us, both thou and thy son and thy son's son. See what I said?
You know the olive tree was the most sought after tree.
Gone. Alright, but in this case, this is speaking about Gideon. Why? Because the Most High used Gideon to deliver the children of Israel. You see? So we see a Gideon and his sons are being used as trees here. Alright, because it says what the trees Salaki, the trees went forth on a time to anoint a king over them. And they said unto the olive tree, Reign thou over us. Number one, trees don't talk. Trees don't anoint kings over them. You see what I'm saying? So this let you know that the trees are basically people. Alright? But let's read on.
But the olive tree said unto them, Should I leave my fatness, wherewith by me they honor Yahweh and man, and to be promoted over the trees?
Right, speaking about Gideon. Right?
And the trees said to the fig tree, Come thou and reign over us.
Right,
So
the
we go
people.
to the next one.
Right, and the people of Israel wanted Gideon and his son to rule over them. You know, but Gideon ain't been down with that, man. He said the Most High can rule over him. You see what I said? Alright. But read on.
But the fig tree said unto them, Should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit, and go to be promoted over the trees? Then said the trees unto the vine, Come thou and reign over us. And the vine said unto them, Should I leave my wine, which cherish Yahweh and man, and go to be promoted over the trees?
Read.
Then said all the trees unto the bramble, Come thou and reign over us.
Right. Now, the tree said unto the bramble, right? Now, the bramble here represent Abimelech. If you know anything about a bramble, that's basically like a
thorns and things. Thorn bush.
And that could jack you up bad. You see what I'm saying? So now, this was basically Gideon's brother. Or Gideon's brother, yeah. Right, this was Gideon family anyhow, but this one he was wicked.
Wicked, yeah.
You see what I said? So they wanted him to be king over them. All right, because when you go in and you read the story, you'll see that he killed 70, I think it's Gideon's son. You know? But let's read on, because this bramble even full of shit.
Verse 15, And the bramble said unto the trees, If in truth ye anoint me king over you, then come and put your trust in my shadow. And if not, let fire come out of the bramble and devour the cedars of Lebanon.
God. All right, so he basically, you know, wanted them to follow him and wanted them to listen to him and all of that. All right, that's the bramble, which is Abimelech. All right, he wanted the nation of Israel to basically fall under him. You see? But read on.
Now therefore, if ye have done truly and sincerely, in that ye have made Abimelech king, and if ye have dealt...
You see that you have made Abimelech king, which Abimelech is a representation of this bramble. You see that? All right. You got it.
And if ye have dealt well with Jerubbaal and his house, and have done unto him according to the deserving of his hands, for my father fought for you, and adventured his life far, and delivered you out of the hand of Midian.
Right, speaking about Gideon. Going back to chapter 8 and 22. You see that? Read on.
And ye are risen up against my father's house this day, and have slain his sons, 70 persons.
Right, so that's what Abimelech did. You see that? So this is a wicked piece of shit nigga. All right, read.
Upon one stone, and have made Abimelech the Salah. And ye are risen up against my father's house this day, and have slain his sons 70 persons upon one stone, and have made Abimelech the son of his maidservant king over the men of Shechem, because he is your brother.
Right. So he's a piece of shit because of what he did to his own people. So how much more if he was king over the nation? But But we ain't really dealing with that part. We just showing you
part.
that these trees is a representation of people.
People and nations, God.
You see what I said? So again, going back to Genesis, when it says, Salakia,
Genesis 1, 2, and 17. But of the tree, this
right.
But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die.
Right, and the tree meaning you're gonna learn wickedness, which Eve learned wickedness from the nation of Edom.
God.
All right, this is when Edom had melanin.
God.
God.
All right, when he was a so-called black man, if you could receive that.
And in verse 16, when it says, every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. We know eat is another word for take counsel.
Right.
See?
All right, done. You see that? Okay. So that's what this is dealing with. That ain't dealing with no damn fruit or no apple. That's shit. All right. And the churches tell you that. All right. Teach that shit at least. All right. But now we know that some trees have fruit. All right. So now let's get that. All right. So from there, let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and 15. All right.
Beware of false prophets.
Speak up.
Matthew 7 and 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
Right. Read.
Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grape of thorns or figs of thistles?
Right. All right. You see that? There's fruits, because fruits come from a tree.
Amen.
You see what I say? And it says, ye shall know them by their fruits. Know who by their fruits? The false prophets. See what I saying? By their ideology, their doctrine, their beliefs. You see, you're going to know them because they're going to have fruits. The meaning the people who follow them. But does this mean that they're actual damn fruit? No. You see what I say?
Metaphor.
Metaphor, can. Read on.
46, 17. Even so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
Right. It says, even so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. All right? Why? Because you have a good teacher. So obviously, you're going to have people who follow good teachers. They're going to be good teachers as well. All right? Same thing with the bad and corrupt tree. All right? That's just showing you that the fruit is also, the fruit comes from a tree. And the tree represents people. So the fruit here is also is a representation of people. You see that?
It's
All right.
I wish I used did these parables and dark saying or riddles,
Gone.
Everybody can understand this.
God.
At least from the wise.
All right.
Verse 18.
19.
19?
Yeah.
Verse 19. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
All right. Read.
Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them.
Gone. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Again, this is a representation of people. Now let's get one more and then we're going to get out of here. Let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 5. All right. And we're going to read from 1 to 7. All right. And we're going to put the rest, that damn apple doctrine. Huh?
It's the vineyard.
Done. All right.
Isaiah 5, starting at verse 1.
All right. You can read straight on down to 7.
Now will I sing to my well-beloved the song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My well-beloved had a vineyard in a very fruitful hill, and he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vines, and built a tower in the midst of it.
Right, so like the choicest vine, which goes back into a plant now. So he ain't leaving out nothing. He give you the tree, he give you the fruit, now he giving you a wine. Right?
And built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a wine press therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes.
You see that? Right.
And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes.
Right, sincerely, you following the law, statutes, and commandments, you done shit.
God, and what more could he have done?
Right.
He gave you an ultimate sacrifice, yet you still not follow.
Done.
How he sent the storm and they still ain't perceive it.
Done.
You see?
All right, so now he's going to break it down. So he's going to damn jack you up now.
God. Verse 5. And now go to. I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down.
Most High punishing you. Done.
Verse 6. And I will lay in waste, it shall not be pruned, nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it. For the vineyard of the Most High of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry.
Done. All right, so again, this just letting you know that the plant, the vine, the fruit, the trees is a representation for people. All right. Yeah, man. So again, that shit with
The apple and all that.
right, Eve give Adam an apple. That's foolishness.
Take a quick precept. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 37, verse 23. A wise man instructed his people, and the fruits of his understanding fail not.
Done.
You know?
And for further edification for those who still may not get it.
God.
Because they may turn around and ask, well, so what the fruit is, what Eve gave Adam to eat. But, exactly. That fruit is the lie and the knowledge of Eve, good and evil, what she received from the evil fruit is what she turned around and told to Adam, which made him to realize good and evil. You see?
Right.
So it ain't a fruit what he physically bite. It was the knowledge.
Right, there was knowledge of wickedness because Adam only had the knowledge of righteousness.
God.
And he only transgressed after Eve brought the knowledge of wickedness to him.
God. That's why women so good at gossip.
Done.
and even though when you hear with the snake in the garden too, but that wasn't actually a snake.
No.
That was a characteristics of a man.
God. Serpent.
Right. So that's another thing they misconstrued in these
God,
churches.
God. Yeah, I think that Revelation 12. Yeah.
He was right.
This is the old serpent which is called the devil.
It's 20 or 12.
Or Revelation 12 and 9.